Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. They say love often arrives unannounced, and keep the good vibes rolling. Not in grand gestures or fireworks, but in stillness, in the quiet comfort of someone's presence. Just moments ago, Zhao Lusi, one of China's most beloved young actresses, gave fans a rare glimpse into her heart. In a softly lit interview captured between photo shoots, she finally spoke about Chen Zheyuan, the man who, somewhere along the way, became more than just a co-star. "I never expected to like him," she admitted with a quiet smile, her tone warm but reflective. "But love doesn't always arrive the way we imagine. Sometimes it's hidden in the ordinary." She went on to describe the simple moments that made her feel safe. How Chen brought her favorite coffee every morning, how he always knew when to give her space, and when to simply be there, silently, patiently. What touched viewers most was not a confession of romance, but a portrait of emotional connection. She painted him not as a perfect man, but as someone real, thoughtful, grounded, and deeply intuitive. "He doesn't try to change me," she said, "but when I'm with him I feel like I'm growing." Zhao Lusi's words didn't confirm any label. They didn't need to. Every sentence carried the weight of something honest, something unfolding. "I don't know what the future holds," she ended, "but right now I'm happy, and that matters most." In a world obsessed with spectacle, her quiet truth resonated even louder. For many, it wasn't just a celebrity story. It was a reminder that the deepest forms of love often begin in silence, in the space between words, where hearts begin to recognize each other. The room was quiet, touched by soft natural light that streamed through the tall windows. There was no grandeur, no red carpet, no crowd. Just a calm space between moments, between work, fame, and reflection. Sitting calmly in that stillness was Zhao Lusi, dressed in a simple white blouse, her hair loosely tied back, not a trace of the spotlight's usual demands on her. There was something disarmingly honest about her presence. No glitter, no performance. Just a young woman, thoughtful and composed, carrying an aura that was both fragile and strong. As the cameras began to roll for the interview, it was clear this wouldn't be a typical press conversation. Her posture was relaxed, but her eyes, those warm, expressive eyes, held something more. A story waiting to unfold. And when the interviewer gently brought up Chen Zheyuan's name, something shifted. She smiled, not with the energy of a rehearsed answer, but with the kind of quiet fondness that only surfaces when you're remembering something meaningful, something deeply personal. What followed was not a revelation, but an unraveling. In the way she spoke, the pauses between her words, the soft laugh that escaped her when she said, "I never thought I would like him," everything suggested sincerity. It was the kind of moment that doesn't just tell the audience something new, but makes them feel it. She wasn't speaking as an actress or as a celebrity. She was speaking as a woman who had been quietly changed by the presence of another. In that quiet room, Zhao Lusi reminded us of something easy to forget, that sometimes the most extraordinary parts of life begin in the simplest places, and that love, real love, often enters not with noise but with stillness. There was a quiet moment, unrehearsed, unguarded, when Zhao Lusi allowed herself to be vulnerable. It wasn't scripted and there was no dramatic pause. Just a gentle shift in her voice, a softness that carried more weight than any headline. "I never thought I would like him," she said, almost to herself, the corners of her lips curling into a shy, knowing smile. But in that single sentence was a truth many spend years trying to put into words. She didn't speak of sparks flying or grand romantic scenes. Instead, she spoke of the unnoticed gestures, the everyday patterns that slowly settled into her heart. "He brought me coffee every morning," she recalled, her voice tinged with disbelief and affection. "But more than that, he always knew what I needed even before I said a word. It wasn't the coffee but the attention. Not the act but the care behind it. Love," she seemed to say, "often hides in silence and routine, and grows strongest where the world isn't watching." As she went on, Lusi opened up about the emotional safety Chen Zheyuan created around her. His patience with her moods, his calm when she was overwhelmed, his quiet presence when words fell short. "He never tried to fix me," she said. "He just stayed." There was no pretense, no attempt to be perfect. What connected them, it seemed, was not drama, but the absence of it. It was not a confession of being in love. It was deeper. It was the recognition of being seen, accepted, and gently held in someone's world. In every word she chose, there was reverence, not just for the man he is, but for the quiet love he offered. And in her soft voice, you could hear something rare: gratitude. Sometimes love doesn't come wrapped in candlelight or grand gestures. It comes quietly, soft as a whisper, steady as breath. As Zhao Lusi continued to reflect on her connection with Chen Zheyuan, it became clear that what moved her most were not dramatic declarations, but the smallest, most human moments that often go unnoticed. She spoke about one particular afternoon, not a special day, not even a memorable location, just the two of them sitting in the corner of a room talking about nothing in particular. "It wasn't anything romantic," she said gently, "but I remember feeling like the world outside that room didn't matter. It was just us." That was the moment, she said, when she quietly realized she had begun to care for him in a way she couldn't explain. The beauty of their bond, as she described it, lived in the ordinary. The way they could laugh endlessly over a simple mispronounced word. The way silence between them felt full, not empty. It wasn't the kind of love built on spectacle, but on comfort, trust, and an ease that couldn't be forced. She even laughed as she remembered Chen's hidden childish side. How he'd sulk quietly if she replied late to his messages, or shyly ask for a shoulder massage after a long shoot. "He looks so calm to the world," she said, smiling. "But with me, he lets himself be a little softer." Those details, so simple, revealed everything. They weren't just actors sharing a screen. They were people discovering each other layer by layer. Not through big moments, but through the repetition of kindness. In Zhao Lusi's words, we're reminded, it's the little things, done often, done quietly, that build the kind of love that lasts. And those moments, though small, leave the deepest imprint. What we see on screen is often polished smiles, flawless timing, perfect chemistry captured through carefully crafted scenes. But beyond the spotlight, away from the script, there's a quieter reality that unfolds behind closed doors. Zhao Lusi offered a rare glimpse into that private space, the side of her relationship with Chen Zheyuan that cameras never capture, the space where real emotions live. She admitted that their connection wasn't always light and easy. There were days filled with doubt, moments where she questioned whether their closeness was genuine, or simply a byproduct of working together. But those questions didn't push them apart. Instead, they led to conversations raw, honest, and free of pretense. "We don't hide from each other," she said, her voice soft but certain. "If I'm angry, I say it. If he's tired, he tells me. There's no guessing, no pretending." Their bond, it seems, is built not just on affection but on emotional maturity. A shared willingness to be transparent, even when it's uncomfortable. She spoke of quiet nights after long filming days, where neither had the energy for small talk, but still chose to sit side by side. Sometimes they laughed, sometimes they said nothing. But through that silence, trust grew. What made Chen different, she shared, was not how he treated her when everything was perfect, but how he stayed steady when she wasn't. His calm grounded her. His silence reassured her. And over time, the safety of his presence became the foundation of something deeper. Behind every public smile is a private story. And in Zhao Lusi's, we don't just see love. We see a partnership quietly built through truth, care, and the courage to be real when no one's watching. When Zhao Lusi was asked what truly made Chen Zheyuan stand out in her eyes, she didn't hesitate. Her expression softened, her gaze drifted slightly, as though her heart had already wandered to where the answer lived. It wasn't just one thing, she said. It was a quiet collection of moments, habits, and choices, subtle but powerful, that made him different. "He doesn't try to change me," she said gently, "but he never lets me stop growing." That, perhaps more than anything, was the difference. In a world that often pushes people to fit molds, to be more or less of something, Chen simply allowed her to be. And yet, in his presence, she naturally wanted to become a better version of herself, not out of pressure, but out of quiet inspiration. She spoke with admiration of his work ethic, how he could switch from being light-hearted and playful to deeply focused the moment a scene began. That balance between discipline and softness, between humor and seriousness, revealed a man who understands when to listen and when to lead. It's rare, she implied, to find someone so grounded. But what moved her most was the part of him the world rarely sees. He has a childlike side, she said with a quiet laugh. He pretends to be strong, but sometimes he just wants to be taken care of. Those private moments when his guard drops, when he lets her into the vulnerable corners of his heart, are what make him irreplaceable. To Lucy, Chen isn't special because he is perfect. He's special because he is real. Because he chooses honesty over performance, patience over pride, and love that is gentle, steady, and lasting. And in her voice it was clear. She didn't just admire him, she deeply cherished him. Lucy recalled a quiet day on set. Nothing dramatic, just a conversation between takes. No music, no script, no camera, she smiled. But suddenly I realized, I didn't want that moment to end, and that's when I knew. Maybe I didn't just like him as a friend anymore. When asked if they were officially dating, she gave no label, no headline quote. Instead, she answered with something deeper. We're not rushing. We're just being honest. With ourselves and with each other. And sometimes honesty is louder than any declaration. Zhao Lusi ended her interview not with gossip, but with gratitude. To everyone supporting us, thank you. You don't just support our work but our hearts. And that means the world. With a gentle smile, she added, sometimes love comes quietly, but when it's real you just know. If this story touched you even just a little, speech balloon, leave a comment below. What's the quietest moment that made you feel loved? Sparkling heart, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories and exclusive insights into the lives of your favorite stars. Sparkles, thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful love stories begin with the simplest of truths. Movie camera, see you in the next video.